Alright, so this is going to be a fun one to talk about because Nintendo obviously has a very trigger-happy lawyers and whatever have you. So it's funny to see some weirdly good news, bad news. I guess it depends on how you want to look at it, because precedent has now been set due to this case where Nintendo wins a lawsuit against a pirate who boasted that you might run a corporation but I run the streets, which is, I think, an incredible quote from the person himself. Basically, the pirate Jesse Keenan, who goes by Every Game Guru, he basically streams Switch games on emulators before the game comes out, and the last time that he did this was with the Mario and Luigi Brothership. It says literally in the first sentence here, Nintendo won a lawsuit against a streamer who pirated games and live streamed them ahead of their official release dates. So this is Jesse Keenan, aka Every Game Guru, infamously wrote to Nintendo boasting he had 1,000 burner channels to stream from, and threatened to continue using them, saying he could do this all day. And then the quote that he said was, "You might run a corporation, but I run the streets," he said on social media at the time. But now he's ordered to pay $17,500 in damages. Basically, for every game that he did pirate, which was I think 3 or 4, I think, he could have had to pay $10,000 per game, but instead the filings ended up being that he had to pay $10,000 for all of the infractions plus $7,500 in additional damages, totaling to $17,500 basically. And this was actually last year in November, so it took a whole year for this whole thing to happen. But basically, Nintendo sued the streaming pirate, the pirate who streamed pirated Nintendo games such as Echoes of Wisdom before the official release, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Mario and Luigi Brothership. So it was 3 games in fact, and this was all done in Colorado court against Keenan, accusing him of not only streaming 10 Nintendo games, but telling his viewers how to obtain them. Oh, that's a fun one. You know, when people really try to run afoul of other companies, you gotta do that to their face. You know, pull your pants down, start slapping your butt, and just basically like mooning them into it, you know, mooning them away from existence. But I guess it didn't really work out for this poor fellow, because he's kind of been poking the bear a few too many times. The bear's woken up, and now he's kind of, you know, eating face at this point. Or the bear is, I guess, eating his face. According to the lawsuit, Keenan obtained and streamed leaked Nintendo games at least 50 times since 2022 and provided links to user in Ryujinx. Nintendo alleged these actions amounted to trafficking in illegal circumvention devices and insisted they caused millions of dollars worth of damage through lost video game sales, which is very, very funny to hear, because obviously we know that's not completely true, that it's also kind of being exaggerated to some extent as well. According to Torrent Freak, however, the court did not agree to issue an injunction against anonymous third parties or order the destruction of the devices Keenan uses to circumvent Nintendo's piracy systems, saying the demand was unclear and unreasonable without knowing who those third parties were and what circumvention devices were used. Because again, he didn't hack his own device, or he's not associated or affiliated with any particular emulation software. If he did have some ties to any sort of group, that would probably have been completely huge. So it just doesn't really work out in that way. An injunction against Keenan was granted, though preventing him from infringing Nintendo's copyrighted works, including by streaming and the trafficking in Switch emulators. I love how the word trafficking is being used when the first thing I think of is like human trafficking and things like that, which is crazy to think. Nintendo's proprietary cryptographic keys or other software or technologies that circumvent Nintendo's technological protective measures. Keenan reportedly did not prepare a defense nor any objections, and the judgment is now final because he never actually appeared in court, which is why everything was ultimately like just bam, like just done basically. There was also Nintendo was suing a Reddit moderator and alleged Switch pirate for $4.5 million, claiming the figure is nowhere near an amount that would compensate Nintendo of America for the seriousness of the defendant's conduct. The DM's conduct Nintendo references is the DMCA anti-trafficking violations of James Archbox Williams, a moderator on the Switch Pirates subreddit, who is accused of copying and distributing pirated Nintendo Switch games. Nintendo tracked down the alleged Switch pirate last year using a combination of Reddit posts and repair orders, which is interesting to see. And of course, then there's the whole thing with like Nintendo saying, hey, we can brick your console if your Switch 2 console if you're using it in ways that we don't approve. And it's funny because like no matter how many people you try to bonk on the head and give all of these severe warnings to, people are going to likely rise up and continue doing what some of these people have been doing. Whether it's Jesse Keenan in this case, aka Every Game Guru, who's just been streaming, Nintendo games before they release. I feel like Nintendo can only really do so much in that regard. In addition to that, the fact that he was also poking the bear this whole time, and also the fact that he has to pay $17,500 in damages. It doesn't seem anywhere near as bad as like what happened to Bowser years ago. Basically, there was this guy called Bowser. He was caught as part of Team Executor or something like that, and he basically helped create the actual software for people to be able to hack their Switches and be able to dump their games and do stuff like that. So he has to pay with the remainder of his life, considering that he is 50 years old, among other things. So poor fella had to pay with his life in that regard. And so I feel like he got hit with the most severe punishment thus far. The second most being the Redditor here, who had to pay Jesse Archbox Williams, who had to pay $4.5 million, because obviously there's no way in hell he's going to be able to pay that. And then Jesse Keenan being basically, I think, the lightest sentence thus far. But I'll let you guys kind of be the judge of that in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. And with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.